Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Seekers of the Sea, where Kai has just managed to open up the second shell of prophecy and has indeed found another special stone within that actually led to her having a vision about being adaptable, I think, about her descendants and her tribe in particular being quite adaptable and trying to change from the cold lands that they had been from, where a big body like hers with extra fur would have been so important, and instead focus on, a smaller body that was a little faster, that was good at being able to resist the heat and the cold, very well-rounded. And I think what we'll say is that Kai had her vision of how important it is to adapt to their new life. So where many of the Nichelings, like Bawave and even Shopri, somewhere deep inside of her heart, past the part that is just nothing but Bawave, over and over again in romantic tones. But I do believe that that is the other Nichelings thought maybe one day they would go back to their tribe, but when Kai opened up this shell and beheld the special stone that was within, when she picked it up into her hands and glowed faintly with a light blue light, it told her that there is no going back. That it is her duty to help the tribe feel guided into their new future and to adapt to this new land. So I'm going to interpret the medium body we selected for her as that vision from the Nicheling gods, which of course we all knew was happening, because do you see a land bridge leading back to their old tribe? Do you? Yes, I thought not. I don't either. So they are going to need to adapt to this new land. I think that is going to go quite well though, because Shopri is ready to have a bazillion of Bawave's babies. Bawave is busy, through his own strength, unwittingly unlocking the power of the Nicheling gods. He is gonna have, like, I am just tickled to pieces. He is gonna get me, like swimming, all of the swimming genes. Is he gonna like unlock 2 different tails? Where is the beaver tail one? Beaver tail? Swimming tail, there we go. Okay, so swimming tail looks like it needs to be bred in. Actually, our little stag mole orphan Skipjack does happen to have swimming tail, so that's useful. But I think Bawave is gonna get us like fishing tail. He's probably gonna get us web tying legs. He's just an amazingly strong Nicheling, and unwittingly generating that strength for their patron gods, which I really love. But alright, so Skipjack is still playing under the tree with Naru, who is now taking his responsibilities of making sure that the food stores don't go down very seriously, just like Old Man Trumpet would have wanted. And Shopri is still pacing along the beach, and pulling at different grasses and daydreaming the nest that she will one day make with Bawave. So let's see what they're going to get up to today. Another leech! It's trying to come for us, but we will defy it. Oh, the golden... Oh, jeez. Okay, the waters are infested with leeches, so I think Bawave's just gonna go ahead and grab a couple more emerald pieces, and he might climb out and try to find another Nicheling willing to join him in the waters, even though I don't know if any of these guys can swim. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to allow Shopri to kind of pace along the beaches just to... Oh, she found some fish. Can you do it, Shopri? Oh, she couldn't even catch one fish. All I can imagine are her little paws slipping as she tries to grab at them, and they just pop right out of her little fingers. She doesn't even have nimble fingers after all, and she can only sigh to herself and think, This is why Bawave is so amazing. He would have been able to spear every single one of those fish on his claws if he had been here. So, but hopefully her attempts at fishing got us closer to unlocking a fishing thing. Meanwhile, we'll have little Naru. There's a lot of stag moles around here. We will have little Naru start clearing away the ground around this tree and staring in confusion at the nuts, while Skipjack jumps from molehill to molehill, talking with his adopted people. And we have Nari and Kai standing here trying to figure out what to make of the fact that they have just read fortunes in the shells. And I do think I'm actually going to roll a dice to see if we end up finding a prophecy inside the shell or not, and maybe even like rolling again. I want to leave more control than I usually do in my challenges. But I do need to be a little mindful that, like, how to pick. I don't want to be biased. Well, I guess the Nicheling gods can be kind of biased. And, like, just pick and, like, I guess I have to pick the Nicheling before I roll. That's for sure. So it'll be okay as long as I pick a Nicheling before I roll. Alright, meanwhile, Nari, I think he might patrol the sidelines too. Actually, I know where Nari needs to go. I think he's going to come up and try to talk to his brother about all of this nonsense, and then stumble on this nut, and with Skipjack pointing at it eagerly and trying to chew on it, he might poke it with his nimble fingers, and ta-da! We got the nut! But is that going to help us unlock Crackerjaw? What shall help us unlock Crackerjaw? Which I know so many of you guys have strong... Yay! So cracking anything will help us unlock Crackerjaw. I know many of you have very strong opinions about Crackerjaw, but you know what? It is useful. And seeing this new food source, not their favorite food source, as these Nichelings particularly enjoy fish and fruit, but that would excite everybody. So we'll have Kai come over and she'll maybe distract herself from her newfound powers and the deep vision of the future that she got for the tribe. It did say they need to be adaptable to their new land after all, with trying to help gather a bit of food and at least make sure that the boys, the youngest of the tribe, is happily settled in place. So that's everybody. But wait, watch out for Razorinas, my friend. Ah, there's another leech. All right. So Ballwave, I think he's happy to get out of the water in just a moment here. And I think that Chapri might be eyeing up that mole just a teensy bit, but it's so full of, you know, claws and horns. Why would she spend her time trying to eat something like that? Not to mention it would extremely upset Skipjack. I think this tribe will never eat moles because little baby Skipjack is amongst them. But we're gonna have Chapri. Oh! Ah! The heck? Oh my gosh. We've got another one! We have another orphan, and she too has the beaver swimming tail, and big body, and nimble fingers! She might be a little sand dune sent to us by the Nicheling gods. Another orphan! Why? Like, who's dropping orphans off on an island? What is happening? Okay, but I also think that Chapri would be happily gathering up all this grass to herself, and upon pulling the grass away from this patch, oh my gosh, the child's name is Vampire after vampire squids. What? Okay, that's it. She's gonna be kind of a sneaky nicheling, maybe tiny bit touched by Tata. And in fact, we might start picking, if it's a nicheling that we're not really like angling to be like in the priest or priestess line, we might start picking for their personality. And I think this is a playful little bit of a troublemaker who would like to kind of follow the lines of Tata a bit in her own ways. Who, as Chapri pulls away the grasses, Chapri lets out a piercing, dramatic scream as Vampire scares the heck out of her and snags some of the food that Chapri might have with her. So welcome to little Vampire, who is named after the vampire squids and has caused Chapri to go into a faint into the sands. Hopefully Ballwave will hear her somehow. And yeah, what a name! Okay, I think she's a little bit of a troublemaker for sure. Let's see what she has. She's got big body. She does have nimble fingers. She doesn't have any white fur. She doesn't have any red horns. She doesn't have fishing tail. That's one of the things I need, right? Let me pull up my little list just to make absolutely sure. Let's see, where's whims? There we go. Seers of the sea. And I want to have my guidelines, because if they have 2 out of the 6 traits that we're looking for on the priests and the priestesses, they'll be touched by Doli, but she does not. She does have nimble fingers, so potentially her children could, but Vampire herself does not. So I think that she is actually more touched by Tata, just slightly, especially because she has black horns already. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we have another orphan. Where she came from is a complete mystery though. But I think that definitely gave us a little bit of a startlement. All right, what am I gonna do with you? Like, where did you come from? She's a little tricksy one, that one. I can just sense it. All right, meanwhile, let's pop over on this side where Kai is going to help gather up some of these mysterious new nuts that we have found. We'll have Naru step over and start doing a bit of exploring as well. Little Skipjack, I think, just totally idolizes Naru and is so excited that these Nichelings have started to figure out the deliciousness that are the nuts of the tree, which the stag moles have been feeding him since he was itty bitty. So there we go. This is gonna be exciting. Also, ooh, swimming tail recessive with Kai. Okay, that's good to see. Little vampire, welcome. You are definitely a tricksy one. What are you gonna introduce to our tribe, I ask? Oh, and she already grew up, so she is a tricksy one. I wonder if she like ran away from her family or something. I don't think so. I think something happened to her tribe. Maybe some of the more aggressive fighting, and she slipped away but was never really close to any of them. And I think that she is going to absolutely delight in teasing Shopri. But Shopri did let out such that elegant scream, so we will immediately have Ba Wave pop up to see just what's going on. And I think that the sight of Ba Wave erupting from the waves would actually give Vampire a little bit of a pause, because he does look like an amazingly powerful and very interesting Nicheling. We're gonna have Shopri throw herself into his arms and express her deep relief. Ba Wave, you're here! Yes! And he has responded with her excitement that he has returned, and now they are mates, and Shopri like is ready to have a baby. That is so exciting. She has terrible fertility. I was really concerned, and they do actually share home island immunity. I hope that doesn't cause any issues. But we're gonna have little Vampire actually go ahead and quietly kind of push the grass down, and as her way to be like, I wasn't doing nothing. Because I think it would be quite intimidating to have Ba Wave show up. And I think that Shopri is actually going to jump up here. And since the moles saw fit to raise little Skipjack, clearly they're good babysitters. What can Shopri actually collect? Oh, but I think she might want something to eat. So I may have, but you know, Ba Wave's, well, he's exploring over there. There's some good waters to explore over here. And they do have I think they're going to start getting really a passion for having their babies on safe little islands where nothing can get them. So I think Shopri is going to immediately have quite a bit of hunger and then scream again as she has just run into a giant, this is like, sorry Shopri, you apparently get quite startled. But she has run into this terrifying, weird moving rock. Rocks should not move. Alright, we'll have Nari go over to see what all of the hubbubaloo is about. So, well, he can also crack open all of these delicious nuts, though. But you know what? A scream is a scream, and I dare say it has attracted quite a bit of attention. So we'll have Skipjack run over, and then we'll go ahead and have... yeah, we'll have Nari run over to see what's going on, and confront this terrifying thing. It has defeated him. It has defeated Naru. They don't know what to make out of this. Oh, there's a little bundle. And Kai, should she go and help out? I think Ba Wave, he is actually not much stronger than everybody else. I think Ba Wave may go to help out. But you know what? This is a community event. The screaming of Shopri and oh, hey, there's a comfortable berry bush right there at least. Haha! And we have defeated the moving rock, and now Naru's little anteater nose is just going a mile a minute, hungry for whatever these little twitchy things are. And I think Shopri is quite put out. That's just, ugh, more than enough than she wants to see. So with so many stag moles as babysitters, and a nice tree to sit under for shade, and, you know, a lovely berry bush to snack from, I do think Shopri is going to set up shop right over here to be able to have her baby. And I think Ba Wave invested in protecting the screaming Shopri, because he is, you know, now the strongest and eldest of the tribe, will work his way over to the other side. Oh, and it's raining! Wonderful! Alright, well, we'll go ahead. We'll let Nari, I think he's having a grand time eating from these. Ah! Ba Wave just ended up with a leech, and I think the scent of, like, the blood, weird as it sounds, would attract Vampire, because she's a bit of an odd one. And then let's see. Shopri is going to flounce away from those disgusting, like, worm things that Nari is enjoying. And Shopri, oh, everybody's name is kind of similar now that I think of it, is going to make herself quite comfortable under this nest. Thank you very much. I do think her pregnancy actually lasts longer now that I think of it. Yeah, she's going to be pregnant for 5 more days. Holy K. But she'll be able to clear out and kind of prepare her nest. I did make the pregnancies much longer on these Nichelings because their babies are only babies for a little while, because eventually we'll want this tribe to have mermaids. That's far down the line though. Alright, meanwhile, Naru would nod in satisfaction that they have discovered yet another part of the island. And I think Kai, she's got quite a lot of life left in her. I think Kai will quietly gather up these fruit pieces and kind of glance around herself a little bit at all of the chaos going on and think maybe she should start patrolling the waterways to see if she can find the fate of more of her tribe members. But we'll also have Bawave like step over and kind of glare at the thing that made Shopri scream and start exploring these waterways and see what, like, is it better on the inland or is it better to be out in the deep water to be able to find resources? And not to mention, he does want to protect the tribe, and they keep having all these odd, like, odd orphans show up. Like one who was raised by moles and one who licks her lips eagerly to eat a leech. Not just because she likes bugs the way that Nari does, but because she seems oddly fascinated by them. Alright, let's see what we've got. Alright, so Shopri, you go ahead and just start kind of tidying up your nest as much as you want to, making this area your own. Yay! Little Skipjack is now full grown! He can speak with the moles and he's probably starting to learn a few words in Nicheling, which is a good thing. And meanwhile, I think we'll have Kai gather up a little bit from that bush and then start working her way back towards the ocean. And I think that Naru will gather the roots and kind of clear the grass. He really wants to know where everything is and just be very responsible at knowing where the food stores are. He's taken that on himself after all. And I think Naru, with his dark black eyes and his very fascinating glowing emerald body, what else does he have available? His recessive peacock tail, hello, hello. I think that he would actually catch the eye, yes, and the scent of Vampire, who is a little bit of an eerie child, but still an interesting one in her own right. So, and she can eat all of the clamshells she wants, but she would not find any prophecies within them. But she's gonna pop up and just start eyeing up Naru. She'll probably eye up Nari as well. Would they smell good? They also would smell good to each other, because they don't have matching immunity. When she meets them. But for now, I'm going to send Nari down, and he is actually going to go with Kai, and they're going to start patrolling the beach, looking perhaps for more shells, or just trying to kind of figure out how to adapt to this land. Nari has received his vision, after all, that he needs to think carefully about the future of his children's children. And Kai, which means that he may be careful about his mate. That may be how the vision affects his life. And Kai is curious, but also hesitant of the power of the shells that she has been finding. And how close are we to unlocking things? Give me new genes. But of course, a mutation doesn't mean you're going to end up with that child bred the way that you were hoping. Alright, and then meanwhile, Botwave, I think, will come and, in quite the honorable move, provide a little piece of fruit to his mate Shopri. Alright, there we go. So everybody is all lined up and ready. We have quite a few interesting stories starting to play out, and we are going to leave them here today, my friends, as they settle into the rain, and each of our Nichelings is beginning to really have their own story, their own sense of what the future may hold, and their own desires for what they would like to do with their lives, which is exactly how I love to tell our stories. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could, do please leave a like. I guess you could toss like some leeches to Vampire. She's cracking me up with her character. She's just amazing the way she's like a follower-ish of Tata. She's a little bit of a creepy odd one, but I think we'll enjoy having her in our tribe. And if you would like to join us for this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But until next time, my friends, stay curious. Bye-bye.